2000.
It is the home of the Australian Motorcycle Grand Prix and a real favourite among riders and drivers all around the world. And once again, the peace and tranquility of Phillip Island is set to be shattered by the V8 Supercars. Hello, I'm Greg Rust. This is round one of the Shell Championship Series for season 2000. And what a year lies ahead. It's going to be a terrific year. We're going to all four corners of the country. In fact, we're going, of course, to the Adelaide 500 as we did last year. That event, if you can believe it, is going to be even bigger and better when we travel down there in April. The National Capital 100, that is a new event on this season's calendar. Canberra, and the race, of course, down around Lake Burley Griffin, and in between the old and the new Parliament House. That promises to be a ripper. And it all concludes with the FAI 1000 Classic at Bathurst.
It's an all-new look for reigning Bathurst champs Greg Murphy and Stephen Richards. The former Wins Commodores are now Kmart machines, and the team has a new owner in Gibson Motorsport's commercial manager Gary Dumbrell. Success in the Shell Sprint rounds is top priority in 2000.
But when you analyse the results of 1999, they weren't really that great during the sprint races. We've been working on that over the break, and during the year 2000 we've got to make sure our sprint races are as competitive as everyone else during the year.
Reigning Shell Series champion Holden Racing Team will have Ford drivers seeing red with its new corporate look. Major backer Mobil remains, but the factory cars of Craig Lowndes and Mark Scaife are now predominantly Holden red. For rival Ford teams, it's like waving a red flag at a bull.
Well, I mean, we've changed livery, obviously, but it's been evolution rather than revolution. The testing's gone really well, and we can't wait to get back into it.
Perkins Engineering has also had a facelift. The latest VT Commodores are the strongest chassis ever produced by the team. Combined with sharp new Castrol war paint, Larry Perkins and Russell Engel will be hungry to claim that elusive first Shell Series crown. Ford fans will be hoping for big things from Henry's Hot Shoes. At Dick Johnson Racing, rapid Kiwi Paul Radisich will be joined by Stephen Johnson, who takes over the famous number 17 Falcon following his father's retirement. Big shoes to fill, but Junior denies he's under any added pressure.
I've done 5 Bathursts now, and there's no pressure at Bathurst, there's no pressure anywhere else, so I'll just continue doing what I'm doing, and if it's good enough to win at the end, well, so be it.
Jason Bright's decision to race Indy Lights in the US has opened the door for Kiwi Craig Baird at Stone Brothers Racing. Baird's Pertec Falcon will share garage space with a new Caltex Ford, driven by hard-charging Queenslander Tony Longhurst. Baird is fast and experienced, but as fellow countryman Paul Radisich discovered last year, he faces a steep learning curve.
There's a few tracks I've got to learn and get a setup on, but we've got a good base with Bridie's setups from last year, so I don't see too many problems.
BMW Super Touring champion Paul Morris is another driver facing a tough season. The young Queenslander returns to a regular Shell Series drive for the first time since competing in a Coke Commodore back in 1994. With his new 2-car Commodore team, Morris is approaching 2000 very much as a learning year.
The other teams really have a big head start because of the testing restrictions, so it's going to be a learning year, and we just have to finish every race we can and get as much information as we can.
Audi Super Touring champ Brad Jones also makes his long-awaited Shell Series debut at the wheel of an ex-Tony Longhurst Falcon. The BJR-prepared Aussie Mail machine could spring a surprise in the Albury-based team's first year of V8 competition.
I think that being our first year, it's going to be very tough. It's the best the series has ever been. There's only tenths of seconds between the front competitors, but at the end of the day, I like to think that we can run in the top 10.
Last year's privateer champion Cameron McLean is eager to take the next step up the ladder. The ambitious Queenslander has replaced his older EL Falcon with an ex-Paul Wheel AU and, after an impressive debut season, has the big names of the sport firmly in his sights.
HRT and Dixie cars are good at the end of the year, and Stones, they're obviously the goal, and if we can get up there and mix it with them, we'll be happy.
We should also make welcome young gun Cameron McConville, who'll be lining up in the Auto Pro Commodore this year, and Stephen Ellery, who did a great job with Paul Radisich at Mount Panorama. He lines up in the Super Cheap Autos Falcon. Well, in qualifying, the defending champion came out blazing on pole position in the Holden Racing Team Commodore. The 22-year-old Garth Tander lines up alongside him. Mark Scaife and Larry Perkins make up the second row of the grid. Great debut from Tony Longhurst in the Caltex Falcon, 5th fastest. And we go back to Jason Bargwanna. Great to see him inside the top 10. And Glenn Seaton rounds out the 10. In fact, a happy hunting ground the island has been for him in the past, and he's hoping to enjoy a win here this weekend. But right now we're getting set for all the action from race 1. This is Phillip Island, a fast and flowing circuit, and one that's a real favourite amongst all the drivers. 4.45 kilometres in length, Craig Lowndes, the current lap record holder, but that could all change here this weekend. We're getting set for action here at the island. Listen to the revs rise. Who will get the jump? We're away! Craig Lowndes points it down at the line. Tander has made a blinder of a start. He's away. Larry Perkins away very smoothly as well. Looks like Skate bogged out. Off to the side there. Part.1 getting all swallowed up, but Garth Tander leads the field down into do and turn for the first time. LP up to third, Ingle up to fourth.
Oh, yeah, that was, I thought there was going to be something nasty. As Cameron Seaton stalled it by the looks of it, so I thought Cameron McLean on the grass there, that looked pretty nasty.
Well, he's off to a terrible start. Look at the number of Holden's. Oh, looks
What's
like
that,
Tony
Longhurst?
Might have been going off into the scenery there. He managed to gather it up, bring it back onto the black stuff. So a rough start for Tony Longhurst in the new Caltex Haviland Ford as they come down toward Honda Corner for the first time. Garth Tander.
Perkins and Ingle together there.
Well, it was a fantastic start for Larry Perkins. Oh, look at
that. Oh, that's Barbs. That was mega late on the
Under brakes.
Didn't he look in trouble coming?
Well, this is the problem. You see, you arrive this when I was saying about heating the brakes up. If you happen not to heat the brakes up, you get on them there, and all of a sudden they just don't bite at all. Got to be a little bit careful. They're going to wipe the front spoiler off. Bang.
Oh.
No, maybe not. Yeah, we may get another look at that. It looked like it was cold brakes. He was in a lot of trouble a long way back.
Down into entry corner. Look at this. Mark Scape, an attack on the Enforcer. And it's starting to rain. That's the word we're getting from the pits. Rain is coming down. So at the moment, Tander leads the field. This is the battle for third place. Scaife just getting by Russell Ingle.
I tell you what, if it looks like it is just drizzling, this has got Ingle's handwriting all over it, this kind of weather. He just flies when it's greasy.
Larry is so pumped up this weekend.
He sure is.
Qualified fourth. He out-qualified Ingle, which has surprised everyone. And now in race trim, he's sitting right with his teammate. Larry said he's going to really change his focus this year. He really wants that first Shell Series crown for the Perkins Engineering team and for Castrol. This is a good start.
Certainly does.
Really interesting, and it's going to be quite funny to see the pair of them together.
A lot of work's gone into both of those cars.
Look at Bow
on the inside of Larry Perkins.
Nice one.
Oh, he's
Brilliant move.
Really good on the brakes.
Look at Seaton too, muscling up the inside of the Kmart machine. He's going to go side by side as they come down towards Siberia.
So the Falcons on the attack. Look at the two Mogul Holden Racing Team Commodores. This is John Bow. You're right with the Ford driver down the inside of Russell Ingle. Thank you very much. Bow now up to fourth.
He is flying. He's the only car in the top 10 running in the 1 minute 34s. He just did a 34.69. They have to make this a compulsory stop. They've passed the first part of the window. They could pit no earlier than the commencement of lap 3, so they passed that. But they also have to make their tyre change before 34 minutes of this timed 45-minute race.
So we'll see, is he going to come in?
Yes, indeed.
Yes. You start thinking about it, you tend subconsciously to slow down a little bit.
Well, the interesting thing is with this tyre situation, obviously when you start the race you've got more fuel on board than you do later on in the race, so probably going to be advantageous to try and run longer on your second set of tyres when your fuel load isn't so heavy. I'm not sure whether this is a scheduled stop. They've certainly got tyres ready. They're going to make the change.
No one going near the bonnet. So
obviously that problem he thought he had in terms of a misfire isn't giving him too much trouble.
Wheels team is one of the 10 teams to be backed by Ford this year. Look at Seaton.
Look at that. He's definitely giving Verdi a hurry up there.
Seaton has made a great recovery. You see him stall it on the grid. He's fought his way all the way back up the inside of Wheel.
Goodness me, so Baird under siege here. Wheel doing a terrific job. This is a brand new car for the K&J Radiators outfit.
Yeah, I think if Paul can get right up the backside of Baird coming onto the straight, he should get a good enough draft at the end to be able to get him into turn 1. Let's have a look here. Yeah, I would think.
Up the front, I think Tander's just had to drop back.
Look at this from Wheel.
Now, Tander's disappeared.
Now there he is. He's in the pit lane.
Okay.
So Garth Tander has come in to do his pit stop.
The race has been running 22 minutes, 39 seconds. Keep in mind, this is a 45-minute race. It's run on time, not on laps completed. So Tander.
That's interesting. Tander opting to come in around about mid-race distance.
Yep, 14 laps completed.
You've got to feel sorry for Paul Wheel. He's tried every way. Maybe up the inside at Honda, but Baird is going to cover this.
I think Cito's hoping for a mistake.
Oh!
Look at this, Glenn Cito. Paul Wheel.
Oh, that's...
No, he's spun around. I thought he was going to hang on to that.
That's really sad for Paul. That was really not Paul's fault.
There's Lowndes.
And for Seaton to get a good result today, I think it's going to make a big difference for him.
Now, can you believe this? Rodney Forbes has yet to do his pit stop, but he leads. I think, his first ever Shell Championship Series race. So Rodney Forbes is your leader from Paul Radicic. So those two guys yet to pit. This was your early race leader, Craig Lowndes. So out of the pits now. That's a fairly decent sort of stop as well.
Watch this. Garth Tander just flashed through. So Tander made his first. He was the first to make a tyre stop. So there he is, car 34, just in front of him. Lowndes.
Garth Tander under siege from Craig Lowndes. Look how close Lowndes is right now. They're heading into the southern loop, and Lowndes is all over the back of the 22-year-old. This is close. Oh, there's a bit of touching going on here. He's made his way through. Lowndes has got him. Lowndes has got him, so that puts Tander back to second place. He's out wide there. I don't think he's going to be close enough. No,
he's perfect. He's in the right position now.
Oh, Lowndes has been charging, but we saw just a couple of laps ago, just in the break, it looked like Tander.
Oh, my Conway! That's a big crash. In fact, I'd suggest that's almost
that's
not quite a rollover by the looks of things, but he's gone in heavily into the bank.
Front and back.
It is the car they call Elvis. It's had more hits.
Oh, look at the back end of that thing.
It's had so many hits, that car. It's a very, very old car. It's one of Dick Johnson's original EB Falcons.
Near the hay shed there.
I tell you what, I wouldn't be at all surprised if they get a pace car out or something, because that's in a really dangerous position there.
Poor old Mike Conway, he's taken a bit of a hit. Maybe he's okay. Looks like he's all right. That looked like a big crash.
That's really knocked the wind out of it, hasn't it?
Well, it's a high-speed circuit, and whenever you come to grief here, it usually hurts because you're hitting harder. Let's have a look on the replay, Baz.
Oh, look at that. He's just got... Oh, whoa, look at that.
Goodness.
That was a massive... It's very, very quick through there.
So this is the battle I think you'll find between Mark Scaife and Neil Crompton, third and fourth place, and Crompton is all over the back of Scaife and closing under brakes there. Crompton's driving superbly.
Yeah, this is the strongest performing Ford in the field, and the strongest performance we've seen from Neil Crompton in a long time. He's right on the back of the Holden Racing Team car. This is the two factory teams going head-to-head. This is what the fans want to see. Fantastic battle here as they come up toward Lukey Heights for the final time, past the hay shed, where Mike Conway just had that monstrous accident up over the Lukey Heights.
Opportunities fast running out for Neil Crompton. If he's going to try and do something to get on the podium here, he's going to have to make it fast, but I think he's out of options.
No, there's no chance, and Scaife's thing's got the horsepower up to the line, so there's...
looks like another
Craig Lowndes makes his way onto the front straight. Checkered flag at the ready. Holden takes first blood in season 2000. Well done to the defending champion. Lowndes wins it. Garth Tander will get home second. Mark Scaife will get home third, and Neil Crompton gets home in fourth place. There they are flashing across the strike now. Crompton just behind Scaife.
Craig Lowndes, after that dominant win in race one, will start from pole position with Tander alongside the Valvoline machine. Scaife and Crompton, great run from the FTR driver. Really put a lot of pressure on HRT yesterday. Big quality field there. They're ready to go. Lowndes sitting on pole position.
We are away. Brilliant start there by Tander. So he's gotten away very nicely, and looks like Lowndes settling into second place. They're all through very cleanly as we head down three abreast. Look at this. Scaife trying to go around Lowndes, and he does it. So Scaife moves into second place. Lowndes tucks into third. Tander said, see you later. And Crompton's in fourth.
Yeah, the thing that's going to be the big problem today is tyres, because the track temperature today is around 34, 35 degrees, and yesterday it was only 22. A lot of the Holdens had terrible tyre troubles, and Odie just made it to the finish, and it does seem as if the Ford of... keep your eye on the Ford of Seaton and Radicic, because their tyres were in really good shape at the end of it.
Yeah, so was Neil Crompton. He was very happy with the condition of his tyres after that race. He's up in fourth position. Oh, a real muscle going on further back in the pack. Seaton now tries to make some progress in the second of the FTR Falcons. They sweep down through Siberia. 45 minutes of racing ahead of them. One compulsory pit stop to come to change tyres. All sorts of drama could unfold.
You're riding now with Craig Lowndes. Now, car 6, we're told Neil Crompton. Neil Crompton has been given or will be showing the black flag for a jump start. So that is hard luck for Crompton. A sensational performance yesterday. He's currently running in fourth place. This guy is cursed. We just
definitely did someone's black cat in.
There's no doubt about it.
So they stream onto the Wayne Gardner front straight. The 22-year-old Garth Tander doing a terrific job in the Valvoline Cummins Commodore. He leads the field. Mark Scaife tucked into second place. Yesterday's race one winner, Craig Lowndes, is in third place, and Neil Crompton will get shown the black flag this time around.
Most of the forwards.
Look at Scaife. Scaife down the inside and on the corner. Scaife's got him. And the door, I've got to say, was left wide open there.
Yeah, he took a very conservative line into that corner. Scape saw it coming.
Look at Crompton. Yeah.
Crompton's going to get a book thrown at him if he did. Well, how many laps they give him before you come in? It's 3 laps or 4 laps.
All right, let's check the top 10 very quickly for you. Mark Scape from Garth Tander, Craig Lowndes, Neil Crompton, Paul Radisich, Craig Baird in 6th place. That's a good job by him. Mark Larkham has made substantial changes to the Mitre 1040. He's in 7th place. Stephen Richards in 8th. Young Todd Kelly 9th, and Paul Morris on his V8 Supercar Championship debut in 10th.
Let's have a look at that.
Oh, it's Ingle, Russell Ingle. Round and round he goes.
Well, there's some damage on the front of Paul Morris's Commodore. Oh, how lucky was Gordon McDougall. And this battle continues for the lead.
Lane in the track there.
Yeah. Crompton, we hear, is coming into pit lane. He's responded to that black flag situation. There it is, the luckless number 6 FDR Falcon for his stop-go penalty.
Quick leg slack.
Hands chief scrutineer Ray Robbins. Lets him back into the action, but he's dropped a number of positions.
Look at this, Craig Baird down the inside of Craig Lowndes. Oh, up on the ripple strip. So Baird through. That's a fantastic move around the back of Siberia as they head now towards the Hayshed and Lukey Heights. Welcome back to Phillip Island. Look at this, Garth Tander. Well, what about that putting all the pressure on Mark Scape? Paul Radisich is coming along for the ride as well. And if you're wondering where they are on the circuit, they're heading towards the Wayne Gardner main straight. So what a move by Tander down at MG corner. And Scape would seem to me to be struggling possibly. And we go a little bit further back here. This is John Bow having a go at Russell Ingle. Look at this, Siberia. Oh! Bow's gone.
Well, I don't know. You'd have to say that. Look, it's
the enforcer doing some enforcing. Lowndes has really recovered quite strongly.
Gee, Radisich is close here. So too is Baird for the run onto the front straight. Now Baird's come alongside Paul Radisich. Baird's got it. So Baird has moved up into 3rd place. Radisich is in 4th. Who's going to hang on to him for the turn 1, do and turn?
Look at that thing. Baird's is not slow. I reckon when Baird, if he gets a good run at Scafie onto the start and finish straight, he'll get him, because it looks as if the Stone Brothers car is as quick as the HRT.
Scafe, yep. Scafe comes in. So Lowndes stays out there to battle the 2 Fords. Ford goes into the lead. Craig Baird from New Zealand, Paul Radisich from New Zealand, Craig Lowndes in 3rd in the Holden.
What a game of tactics this is now turning out to be. We can see that Radisich and Lowndes have decided to stay out there. Tander is still out there as well. He's yet to pit. Now here's Craig Baird in for his stop. The Stone Brothers operation swap on this car.
Let's have a look at the replay.
John Trimble.
Oh,
John Trimble, that is. Oh, look at that. Oh dear, I wonder if anyone's going to hit him.
Right in the middle of the track too.
Oh, nasty.
Oh,
Russell! Oh.
Just stopped. But here's our race leader, Garth Tander. He's been doing brilliantly this weekend.
Well, Scafie and Lowndes are 13, nearly 14 seconds behind Tander and Baird at the moment.
Oh, Craig Lowndes! That's Craig Lowndes! Goodness me!
Oh, it looks
now,
like
what's
it's
happened
cooked
there?
itself. You see the smoke just coming up the front.
Yes, interesting.
Undoes the belts, and that's it for the day.
Well, Lowndes was heading for a victory there. Just doing our sums. He was looking very, very strong to be on the top of the podium this afternoon, but that's all gone out the window. Garth Tander guides it on to pit straight once again. 3.0 seconds. We'll check this split as they come across the line. Time running out for Craig Baird. And there is Castrol Commodore of Larry Perkins. This is a very...
1.49 seconds.
1.49 seconds.
Got it down to.
Yep.
And we've got another, what, how many more laps?
Say 4
3
minutes.
more laps.
Yep.
So we could be looking good for a bit of...
Baird has closed it big time in the Pertec Ford.
It's a flyer, isn't it?
The wheel is very fired up. Look at Todd Kelly coming under pressure in the background there from Tony Longhurst.
Tander to Baird.
Baird's through. So Craig Baird, we have a new race leader here at Phillip Island. Craig Baird has gone through on Garth Tander. So the Kiwi in a Ford leads race 2 here at the island, and time is fast running out. I would suggest maybe Garth's tyres perhaps are going by the wayside. There's such a gap there already.
He's dropping back so quickly now.
Well, his last lap time was a 1:38.37. Baird did a 36.8, so he's taken 2 seconds off the Valvoline machine in that one lap.
Maybe there was, you never know.
Could have been some traffic.
Yeah, could have been some traffic. Could have been a bit of a mistake by Garth. I don't know, you know.
Oh, full wheel!
No!
Oh, you can't believe it.
Well, he managed to keep it out of the bunker. That's one thing.
And Craig Baird, the 29-year-old, on debut in the Shell Championship Series, takes out race 2. Well done to Stone Brothers Racing. The Pertec Ford operation, very deserving winners. And this is the battle for third place. It's going to go right to the line. Scaife holds it, just holds it.
That is 2 years in a row at the opening round that Mark Osler has been hosed with the champagne. He's got to learn to run a little bit quicker. Garth Tander leads the championship after the first round on 108 points. Mark Scaife is just 6 points in arrears, and Craig Baird third on 93 points. Glenn Seaton is up there, which is terrific stuff. Craig Lowndes in 7th place, the defending champion. And Neil Crompton, despite his woes late in the day, is in 10th place on 48 points. Well, the crews have made the long trek across the Nullarbor to a place they used to call Wanneroo. Today it's called Barbagallo Raceway. All right, let's take a look at the Barbagallo layout. Almost 2.5 k's in length, plenty of undulation here, and it's characterised, of course, by that main straight that runs both up and downhill. Round 2 of the Shell Championship Series. Mark Scaife on pole for race 1. His teammate Craig Lowndes lines up alongside him. A sensational lap from Scaife. Garth Tander and Russell Ingall make up row 2. Word from pit lane is that Paul Romano will start from the pits in the Sabco Commodore, and all HRT front row. Green flag being waved, revs rising. We are getting set for round 2 of the Shell Championship Series. Scaife gets away. Lowndes a brilliant start as they head towards Cat Corner for the first time. Look at Larkham, a blinding start as well. And the Ford's trying to come through, but Craig Lowndes takes the lead into turn 1 for the first time.
Yeah, good traction.
Oh, we've got a Commodore going around. That's one of the Kmart cars. I think it's Greg Murphy. He's managed to hang on to it by the looks of things, but all crossed up there for a moment.
32 cars trying to funnel through this very narrow strip of bitumen. We'll keep our eyes on this difficult situation as they try and sort themselves out. Coming around the back over the hill for the first time, looks like a relatively clean start to Heat 1.
Dick, you talked before about the importance of having a tyre that's going to last a full 20 laps. I think we're going to see just who's made the best, I guess, setup choices with these cars very early on.
Well, it's not only that, it's just a matter of the setup that you got with the car and the way you qualify is just paramount on a circuit like this, because the passing opportunities aren't that great. And what Craig has done here is put in a blinder first lap, and that's exactly how to lead a race here, because you can actually settle down and run your own race.
As Craig Lowndes has proved throughout his career, very, very fast on coal tyres. Look at the Biff and Barge going back in the pack.
That's old Big Kev have another shot at everything, I think, here.
Paul Morris really been in the wars after those races at Albert Park. Squeezes up the inside of the Greenfield. Mowers Falcon. Baird wants a slice of the action too. Bowles going with him. There's one of the Kmart Commodores in there as well. It's tough stuff back in the pack.
Morris lifting wheels in the Big Kev Racing Commodore. There's Craig Baird locking up the inside front left. Baird, of course, the winner of race 2 at Phillip Island. But a little bit further back in the pack in this particular race. Up in front, Craig Lowndes is your leader from teammate Mark Scaife. Garth Tander in 3rd place, the local guy. And Larkham in 4th at the moment.
Well, you can see that he was moving over to take a conservative line as he braked down toward pit straight. Because Radicic was applying the blowtorch behind him. He got through too, so Radicic moves up another position. Puts him up to 5th. Behind that quartet of Commodores, Lowndes, Scaife, Tander and Ingall up ahead of him.
He's now coming up.
Having a go down the inside here on Larkham, into Cold Corner, and Barks is through. So in the space of half a lap, Larkham has fallen back 2 places.
He's obviously, his tyres are obviously starting to get soft on the back, because that's the problem. Your actual car setup is so important here.
Let's have a look on the Shell Helix replay of this passing move. Talk us through this, Dick.
Well, Mark got himself up on the curb there and lost a bit of speed coming out of the turn, which allowed Paul to sort of duck down inside him, and now Tander's looking at having a shot here, but he's too far behind.
You're looking back from behind Mark Larkham. This is roughly what he's seeing in his rearview mirror.
Oh, no. Problems there. Baird's gone off, so too John Faulkner in the Asia Online Commodore. Now Baird is parked precariously there on the exit of Cat Corner, trying to make his way towards the S's. That's where Trevor Ashby's gone off as well.
And that's a very similar position to that very car was 12 or 18 months ago when it was here.
Don't remind them.
The poor thing.
No, Baird very exposed there, the outside of the circuit. We've seen a number of cars come off on that corner. On-road safety car leads them around, lights flashing. Beautifully presented Commodore there.
I think this is just the break that Garth Tander really needed.
All right, we are away and racing once again. The safety car is off, and we have a green light racing again at Barbagallo. Craig Lowndes remains in the lead. We have 6 laps remaining. 6 laps remaining in this one. In 2nd place, Mark Scaife, but things all closely bunched up. Look at Stephen Johnson giving Mark Larkham the hurry up as they exit Cat Turn, and the field stream through the S's now.
That's what you call applying maximum pressure. Great shot on the Channel 10 cameras there, right in. You can just see the rear bumper of Larkham's car flexing under the pressure from Stephen Johnson saying, get a move on. Got Tony Longhurst bringing them on next. Steve has a run down the inside. He's going to get him under brakes. Oh!
Steve had a look there, and Larkham shut the door, and Longhurst is looking for any sort of opportunity here. Look at Longhurst coming on the inside of Stephen Johnson now. They run up the hill, these two side by side. Longhurst has got the inside running. And some dirt and dust on the track. Paul Morris is in there as well. So too Cameron McLean. Down the hill, Longhurst has got Stephen Johnson. And now out after Mark Larkham. For the final time, Craig Lowndes brings it down the hill. And look at this battle going on here. Radicic and Ingle. Oh, goodness me, there's a bit of contact there between Russell. And look at this, Jason Bargwanna comes along for the ride. Congratulations, Craig Lowndes takes it out from Mark Skate. Third place is Tander. Ingle under pressure all the way from Bargwanna. And you got to feel sorry for the Rat. The Rat was the big loser in that one. Let's check out the grid for you as they line up for the second race today. 20 laps the distance. Craig Lowndes and Mark Skate on the front row. Row 2, Garth Tander and Russell Ingle. Waiting for a green flag at the back of the field. Officials just pushing one of the cars back into position. Looks like possibly Trevor Ashby. And then we'll be underway and set for a start. Get ready, folks, here at Barbagallo. Will it be Lowndes? Will it be Skate? Lowndes got the upper hand in race 1. Who is it in race 2? Red lights ablaze. An all-red HRT front row. We're away. Lowndes gets another blinding start. So too Mark Skate. Look at the enforcer. Russell Ingle blinding off the start line and gets past Garth Tander, who's getting chased by his own teammate, Jason Bargwanna.
Well, we all hold our breath as this big field funnels through the first turn. 32 cars in all. They're going to sort themselves out. That great aerial shot shows it. Side by side as they come up through the S's the first time around, but looks like another relatively clean start as they swing around up the hill for the first time.
Looks as though there was a bit of contact between the teammates, Jason Bargwanna and Garth Tander. Tander got the upper hand as they came through Shell Corner.
What can Mark Skate do about this, Dick Johnson? He got beaten second time off the start. Craig Lowndes, clean pair of heels.
Well, the secret of these 20-minute races is to get a very, very clean start. And if you get fresh air in front of you, the engines work better because the air's cooler. And you can just settle down and do it at your own speed.
Looking at the back of Paul Radicic's car, Shell Helix camera takes you right into the heart of the action. He's got Garth Tander up behind him, but Jason Bargwanna, I should say. So the Valvoline team putting the squeeze on the Shell forward, and once again, Paul Radicic, the fastest of the Falcons. There's Larkham sitting in behind him, and Stephen Johnson. Good strong performance from Junior this weekend. He's up there in 8th position. Just shadowing his teammate who's a few positions up.
We can see that Jason Bargwanna is having a crack at Paul Radicic, and he dives down the inside. We go on board with Paul Radicic, and Barks gets through.
Bowles back in 24th position at the moment. Just shows how hard it is. He started from right at the back of the grid. 3 laps remaining after that power steering problem. And I guess, Dick Johnson, we talk about consistency in championships.
Oh, McLean.
Cameron McLean.
In the bunker.
Not sure what part of the track that is. That's two involved.
That's happened there in the same place Cameron McConville went off. Now, it looks as though that's Stephen Richards that's gone off there as well with him. So both Richards and McLean have come off, and the Greenfield Mowers Falcon is buried well and truly in the trap.
Let's have a look at this from above, Dick.
Locked up rears.
Now wait for Richards. Where's he?
He's still coming, but it won't be long.
We've got driver error there. Maybe someone has dumped something on the circuit. Don't see any oil flags out there.
Well, the way it's going at the moment, it's going to be a carbon copy, almost, in terms of the top 2 of yesterday. Lowndes leading Scaife. The difference for 3rd place at the moment as we start the last lap. They're on their way home. Russell Ingle is in 3rd, ahead of Garth Tander. Let's take a closer look at Glenn Seaton. This might give us an idea of what happened to Stephen Richards.
To Stephen Richards. He's done exactly the same. He's just locked up rear brakes. And it's so easy to do there.
Why is that? Is that because the corner's a bit off camber and it can catch you up?
Well, the track actually comes downhill into the braking area and then starts to rise up again. And when it starts to level out is where the rear brakes come unstuck.
Well, this is where they are on the circuit now, the very same corner. Craig Lowndes leading the field, and he'll greet the checkered flag this time around nice and sideways for the Holden Racing team. Lowndes takes it out. Well done to the youngster. Another win from Mark Skate, 3rd home, and points on the board. Valuable points too for Russell Ingle. Then it's Garth Tander, and first to the 4th home. Well done to Paul Radicic. As the field make their way around the Barbagallo layout, we'll take a look at how they line up for the final race of the day. Craig Lowndes and Mark Skate. Front row again, Russell Ingle and Garth Tander on row 2. We're set to go racing here at Barbagallo. Oh, and a bit of a creep on the line there from Skate. Lowndes, a brilliant start. Though look at Radicic trying to dive through the field. Ingle's got the door covered. Lowndes again, blasts
3 from 3. He's just got the jump on his teammate. Those two so close in performance, but it's so critical, that first 100 or 200 metre sprint down to turn 1. Lowndes has done it again.
We've seen a good battle going on here between Tander and Russell Ingall. Tander gets shuffled back one. Ingall, the enforcer, muscles his way past as they come through the S's now through Shell Corner and heading for the run to Kolb Corner, this huge field of V8s.
Well, with Ingall sitting up there, I think you're going to see some action because he doesn't like coming second, I can tell you that much.
Status quo returns in Heat 3. 4 Commodores. 1, 2, 3, 4. First of the Falcons in 5th. Paul Radisich, consistent performance all day in the Shell Ford as this big field sweeps up into 6th gear. 250 kilometres an hour on the approach, the uphill brake as they come down toward pit straight. The first line, bit of a challenge. Yeah.
Bargwanna throwing out a challenge to Larkham on the run to the start-finish straight. Stephen Johnson also trying to come for the ride with Bargwanna. Bargwanna not quick enough on the back of Larkham. And Larkham all the time trying to chase down Paul Radisich. It's a huge freight train. Stephen Johnson through. Stephen Johnson has made his way past Tander. Look at this. Tony Longhurst trying to come with him. 3 wide. Goodness me, there's contact right, left and centre there. Bargwanna rather hanging on to it, and oh, goodness knows only how.
Oh, look at this. They're all leaning on each other, elbow to elbow, as they come over the hill for the second time. Longhurst on the outside, but now that puts him on the inside for the next turn. So, plenty of cut and thrust in the opening lap as they fight for position, every position crucial. As they come under brakes up the inside of Baird in the Pertec Ford. Winner of race 2 of round 1, but he's struggling for speed.
It just shows you how important it is to qualify in these sort of races, because we're in a situation here where I think that if race 2 was a...
Oh! Seaton was up there trying to go with Baird, and it's all come unstuck for him at Cat Corner.
Whew. That's almost a replay of last year.
Yeah. What, did he just go in a bit too hot under brakes, Dick, or what?
I think he gets his nose up in the insides and didn't sort of carry on with the move because the other car came across on top of him.
Well, it's been a pretty bad weekend for Glenn Seaton so far in terms of results, running around the middle of the pack, and now he's gone right to the back of it.
Well, Tander made it clear heading into this round that he wanted to put on a strong show for the local fans. He led the championship heading into this round, following his 2 second places at Phillip Island. This is home turf for the 22-year-old, and he wanted to walk away, if he could, with at least 1 race win.
Let's have a look at this again, Dick.
Well, Cameron McLean's obviously got himself up inside Steve Reed, and he's obviously not going to give up. But I think Steve Reed cops a bit of a like that on the front wheel, and I think that the front wheel then locks up.
Now, this has happened during our ad break, folks, for those of you that may not have seen it.
And he's turned the steering wheel and goes straight ahead.
Ah, okay, he's broken something in the front end. That was a big hit, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
I think that's put paid to Steve Reed's day. Now, we're also getting word from the pits. That's Neil Crompton coming in. So, the disastrous weekend for Neil Crompton just continues. In fact, for that matter, it's been a disastrous week when you consider what happened at the Grand Prix. Look at this, Tander all over the back of Skaven, going for it for the run down pit straight. We've got 6 laps to go, and look at this, down the inside, Tander makes a move on Skaven, takes 2nd place. The Gary Rogers Motorsport driver, the fans cheer. Tander, the local lad, is through. 5 laps remaining. And Jason Bargwanna's gone. Well, goodness me, he'd been driving, I guess, in some respects, Mark, at 11 tenths today, really going at it hammer and tong. And that is hard luck. Now, we get word from the pits also that Neil Crompton, who we saw in the pits a few moments ago, had contact with John Bow. So that has put pay to Neil Crompton. So, well, look at Bargwanna having a go at the birthday.
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Oh, he's having a shocker.
Oh, guess where he's going to visit this afternoon.
Dear, oh dear.
Larry Perkins.
The birthday boy yesterday, not a happy way for him to end his weekend either.
Mate, they have no respect for 50-year-olds, I can tell you.
That's getting served up big time. Perkins just left the slightest little gap on the inside. Bargwanna had 2 wheels on the grass, just kept driving it through.
More than 2 wheels on the grass in a minute.
The Asia Online Commodore, John Faulkner, he sweeps past Bargwanna as he tries to gather it all up.
Oh, Larry Perkins, that's a Kolb Corner.
Well, that's what happens when you get over 50, I think, isn't it?
Over the limit. Oh, Larry. He's been out off the scenery a bit this race.
Oh, I think the steam would still be coming out of his ears.
So Russell Ingall sitting back there in 4th position. A lonely race. Paul Radisich was all over him earlier, but the Shell Challenge has cooled a little. So Engel now has a little bit of breathing space.
Oh, boy, he's been done twice.
Oh, gosh.
Like that Paul Romano.
Another young bloke.
Yeah, oh, well, as I say, they have no respect.
Yeah, happy birthday, Larry. No respect. No respect.
For their elders whatsoever.
Craig Lowndes brings it towards the start-finish straight for the final time in behind yesterday's birthday boy, Larry Perkins, but it's going to be Craig Lowndes, 3 from 3. Congratulations. Takes out another round victory. Garth Tander will finish second. Mark Skate finishes third. Russell Ingall fourth and Radicic fifth. That is a fantastic result for Craig Lowndes. Well done to the youngster.
2 rounds down to the championship, 11 to go, and the championship point score looks like this. Garth Tander, top of proceedings on 210 points, just 2 clear of Mark Skate, so a pretty slender lead. Lowndes 28 points further in arrears. Radicic is in 4th place, and
full grid. How they'll line up in race 2 of the Clipsal 500. Craig Lowndes, well, right on top of the order. Glenn Seaton qualified 6th, ended up 2nd. That was a great result. Garth Tander, pole position man, slips back a little bit. Stephen Richards, that's a good effort. Only qualified 10th in the Kmart car. They're having trouble getting qualifying speed out of those cars, but in the race, they're very strong. Paul Radicic up to 5th. Stephen Johnson. Now, that was outstanding for Junior. A rookie on the streets of Adelaide. He qualified 19th with very little track time and ended up 6th. An outstanding driver.
This is the Clipsal 500, and the V8 Supercars are ready once again to light up the streets of Adelaide. Will Lowndes win again? Or will the Ford fans be rejoicing at the end of today's 250k race? There it is, Holden versus Ford on the front row. The way they finished yesterday, Lowndes ahead of Seaton, the revs rise. The awesome V8s bring the streets of Adelaide alive once again. Who will get the jump? We're away in the Clipsal 500. And again, Seaton's made a brilliant start. Lowndes will be on the outside for the run down into the centre chicane. Who will give? Seaton's through. The field streaming through the centre chicane. Look how tightly bunched up this huge field. 38 V8 Supercars. And thus far, they are all through cleanly. Keep an eye at the back of the pack. Lights ablaze for Russell Ingall. He will be desperate to fight his way forward and gain some valuable championship points.
We've got some very fast cars back in this field. There he is, Russell Ingall, the enforcer. He had a terrible day yesterday, lost control of the car at speed 16, took him out of the race. There's 160 points available here for the race winner.
Oh my God, look at that, Paul Radicic! Paul Radicic! Oh, you cannot believe this. Now, I wonder what has caused that. That has put him right to the very back of things. Started out of grid position 5 today. And now with all the work to do.
Oh, I just wonder in the rough and tumble of that opening pack whether he got turned around or whether he lost control. We don't know. But there's the battle for the lead now. Seaton in control from Lowndes. Big run up the inside.
Tander.
Yes, gotcha.
So Stephen Richards making the better of the start, and Tander now finds his way back into 3rd position. So at the moment,
look at they've pulled out a good distance there,
haven't they? While those two have been battling away.
Here's the battle at the front. The lone Ford of Glenn Seaton, 34-year-old Victorian. He's got plenty of pressure behind him. Craig Lowndes and the Holden Racing Team Commodore Victoria Chester. Look at Garth Tander.
Tander. Yeah, what? Oof, nice one. Very, very good. Oh, it looks like thought he was going to go straight there.
Garth seemed to do that with ease.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Lowndes possibly playing a game of tactics here.
Either that, he could have missed a gear or something, you know, and you lose the run onto the straight.
Down to the Clipsal 500 as we see Garth Tander making a run to lead on Brent Seaton inside and through. Garth Tander, championship leader, now race leader at the Clipsal 500. Seaton 2nd. Craig Lowndes sitting back in 3rd at a gap of some 6 seconds to Stephen Richards. Don't forget, 5 laps to go before the window for compulsory pit stops.
For his tyre stop, you can see the rain pelting down on the streets of Adelaide. We've actually got thunderclaps above us as a thunderstorm has hit. Wet tyres going onto Lowndes' car as well. You really, at the moment, you couldn't put anything but wets back on. It's getting quite slippery out there. Lap times pumped out 4 or 5 seconds before the car started coming in. How long is this rain going to last? The sky looks a bit patchy. It could just be a big cloud hanging over the track right at the moment. And in 5 laps, it could be dry again. Who knows?
Now, Garth Tander has gotten in front of him courtesy of that pit stop. Look at Lowndes sideways through the centre chicane on wets. But Tander is ahead of him. So Tander retains the lead on the ice rink.
Oh, look at how difficult it is to get that car to turn into the corner. These tyres are stone cold. You're not allowed to use tyre warmers in V8 Supercar racing. The track temperature has come right down with the rain, and look at him struggling with that, trying to get the power to the ground. Shell Helix replay is Gary Holt, one of the Konica V8 light privateers.
This is where Mark Scape went off last year. Bang.
Another Shell Helix replay where you can imagine the drama out here. Look at the Gatorade car. Peter Dorman understeering straight off at speed stick turn. Off. Into the tyres. Fortunately, looks like minimal damage. Hopefully he got back to the pits.
Oh, that's Dean Canto. Dean Canto's had a moment there.
Now, I just wonder if they're going to call the safety car out soon. These conditions getting very, very heavy. If they've been asked to switch on their rear red warning lights, there's a good shot of the visibility, Woods.
That's at the front of the Kmart Commodore of Greg Murphy's. How can he see?
Well, that's on the, admittedly, that's on the side where the windscreen wiper isn't operative, but the red lights are on the backs of the cars. You can just see it there on the back of Lowndes' car. It's a very powerful beam which can shine through this mist and spray, and it warns the driver behind that they are approaching. It's been a good addition to the safety aspects of these cars. Barry Sheen.
Yeah, there's a bit of a touch there. Yeah, look at the surface water there. No, at last.
The Monroe safety car. Severe thunderstorms and flooding is the official forecast from the Weather Bureau, so this may be the first of a long line of downpours.
Well, at least they got it right for a change.
Look at the damage to the front of the Greenfield Mowers Falcon in behind the safety car there, so Cameron McLean has had a moment as well. Do we get the green? Indeed we do. We are back underway. Tander leading the field around the ice rink that is Adelaide.
45 laps to go in race 2 of the Clipsal 500. Oh, very close there as the cars try and squeeze their way through this very narrow funnel, the centre chicane up Wakefield Street. Jason Bargwanna with a big charge, sure, looking to make a big charge up the inside of his teammate. So
Dougal up ahead here too in the Pepsi Commodore. Will he hold things up? No, he's gotten well and truly out of the way. Barks trying to dive down the inside. A bit of damage to the front of the 35 car, and he comes down on the inside of his teammate at the end of Brabham Straight. Bargwanna through on Tander. Tander fighting back though. And this is something that would be very nervous for Gary Rogers. He would not want either of his two drivers to become entangled with one another in these wet conditions. Radicic is again in trouble.
He's had a few spins today. Now, word from the pits, it's sensational news. A black flag is going to be shown to Mark Scaife, apparently for speeding in pit lane. So he's fought his way all the way up from the back of the grid to second position. Oh, there's Rodney Forbes. Oh. Gee, that was...
Just shows you how much water is down in the circuit, and when it hit the grass, it just kept travelling, didn't it?
Like he was out on a skating rink there. You could just see no control. He was a passenger, went straight across the grass.
This is going to cost him dearly. He peels off into pit lane. Mark Scaife in the Holden Racing Team Commodore.
Tell you what's going to be fascinating to watch here, Rusty, is the battle for third between Murphy, Bargwanna and Tander. That was about 16 seconds behind Scaife, so he's going to come out, hopefully, just in front of him. Let's have a look. Barry Sheen. Okay, he served his stop-go penalty. Let's see where this battle for third is. As the camera goes wide.
Right, and there they are. There they are. So Scaife now will feel the pressure as they come through centre chicane for the first time. Murphy right in behind him. There's Tander and Bargwanna, and if you drop back through the field and look at some of the times, they are the fastest on the circuit at the moment. Bargwanna and Tander are doing 1 minute 42 second laps, so they are the quick guys, and Scaife will be feeling the pressure. Barg's very close now to the back of Murphy's car, a lap competitor. Whoa, look at this! Scaife runs wide where the tyres were through speed stick turn. Murphy with a snip of an opportunity, and he gets it. The Kmart Commodore down the inside at the end of Brabham Straight, forces Scaife wide. Bargwanna's there. Bargwanna trying to get through as well. He doesn't do it. Scaife shuts the door. And Tander, oh, look at that.
Bargwanna's driving everyone like a qualifier. He's got the tail hanging out at every corner. Mark Scaife now responding to that attack from Greg Murphy. And the two Valvoline Cummins Commodores sitting back there in the spray. This is a fantastic battle.
Into Mistral turn. Look at Murphy getting a little bit sideways under brake. Scaife trying to make a move down the inside. And the Kiwi shuts the door. Says, if you're going to do it, Scaife, you're going to do it the tough way. Scaife's through, though. Scaife's gotten through.
See the amount of traction that car had out of that corner. He left up the inside of the Kmart car. Fired out of the corner. Left Murphy standing. So Bow is really juggling an open box of confetti here. He's battling Greg Murphy, he's battling tyre temperatures, he's battling everything. The conditions can throw at him.
Look at this. Second place is under threat now. Scaife is holding it down, but Tander is on a charge. They work towards Mistral turn. Look at Scaife using all of the road, climbing the curbs, and under pressure from the 23-year-old championship leader. A touch between them. Tander barges through, but he can't do it. Scaife's got the better momentum. He's done turn, and he gets the grip again on the exit of that corner. Tander will have to wait to have another crack at it. There's a good gap between Tander now and Part.1. 4 seconds is the gap. The gap between Scaife, who sits in second, and our leader Craig Lowndes now down to 20 seconds.
Oh, how close was that between Matthew Coleman and the colours gap? Tander's gone off!
Oh, no!
Oh, goodness me, it's coming out thick and fast. Every second there's a new incident. Garth Tander manages to gather it up, get back on the racing line in his pursuit of Mark Scaife, but that's given Scaife a critical breather now. Lowndes has got a problem.
Can you believe this?
Wow! We saw him have an engine failure in race 2 at Phillip Island, and there is... What's going on here? Oh, look at the way he's sliding the car around. That smoke looks like it's coming from the front of the car. So mechanical dramas for our race leader. He's been doing it easy all day, and now he's coping with some sort of problem in the car. What's he going to do? Is he going to keep trying to limp around, or he's going to bring it into pit lane?
He's coming in. No, he's coming in. They're concerned about how bad it might be. We've been monitoring the course of the Holden Racing Team radio communiques with him, and you can see Lowndes getting sideways on the entrance to pit lane. That is like oil of some kind, I'd suggest, and it's going over the back tyres, and on the wet surface that is making it treacherous. Baz?
I just spoke to Jeff Brecky that they don't know what it is at the moment, so their guess is as good as anybody else's.
We'll take a closer look at it here. Wow, now that's through the centre chicane, and he's backed it in. Almost rolls it over. Holt!
Has he backed it in?
Will the tyres last? Under 10 laps to go in the Clipsal 500 for 2000. Scaife, Tander, Bargwana, Bow, Murphy, Seaton, Johnson, Ingle, Longhurst and Radisich. They are the top 10.
There's second place. Garth Tander fought gallantly throughout this race, but in the end, just no response to the speed of Scaife, particularly over the last 10 laps of the race. It's the gap out to 9 seconds now, so Tander driving with his head, though, because if he finishes second here, he's going to go and he will remain at the lead of the Shell Championship Series scoreboard. A handy lead, too, over Scaife. So positions remain the same. This has been a good, consistent run for Garth Tander.
Oh, Scaife's gone off! Can you believe it? In the same place that everyone's gone off today, Mark Scaife's gone off, Tony Longhurst has gone off too.
Radisich down the inside, but he's got a lap to make up. So
2 to go, and the team are telling him it's okay. It's okay, just keep it together. You've still got a handy lead. It was 9 seconds.
Let's see if Tander's... No, Tander wasn't even in view there, so he's still got a pretty healthy gap between himself and his closest pursuer.
Mark, last lap, mate. Come on, mate. You can do it.
Well, the team's saying you can do it, and he can do it. He'll get the last lap board this time around. All he's got to do is bring it home. We'll check the gap for you. Back to second place to Garth Tander. And at 6.1 seconds, and one would assume, Mark, at that sort of level, with 1 lap of the 3.2-kilometre Adelaide circuit to go, it's going to be just too big. Mark Scaife, twice a winner on the mountain and twice Shell Series champion. And looking good for his first victory on the streets of Adelaide. Scaife, he heads into the final turn. Mistral corner, the Holden Racing Team are on the wall as they await their driver, Mark Scaife. On the sidelines yesterday, today he greets the checkered flag. Last place to first. Well done to Mark Scaife, a storming drive. And he's had the best drive of his career.
Let's take a look at the championship point score for you. And right now, it looks like this. Garth Tander on top of the points, 422 from Mark Scaife after that Adelaide effort, just 54 points in arrears. Defending champion Craig Lowndes, his 5th engine problems forced him out of the second race at the Island and the Clipsal 500, and that cost him a lot of points. Paul Radisich continues to be the best of the Blue Oval Brigade. 10 years ago, it was christened with a touring car race, and for a time it was the home of the Australian 500cc Motorcycle Grand Prix. Today it plays host to round 4 of the Shell Championship Series. Let's take a closer look at the circuit for you, and it's just shy of 4 k's in length and characterised by that 1 kilometre long main straight. A real mixture of corners from the sweeper at turn 1 to the hairpins like turns 9 and turn 2. This is how they'll line up. Mark Scaife on pole, and all HRT front row because Craig Lowndes is alongside him, and it's Garth Tander and Russell Ingle, Paul Radisich, the first of the 4 drivers, Longhurst, Seaton and Bow.
We get set to go racing here at the Creek, the first of 3 13-lappers for round 4 of the Shell Championship Series. Will it be Lowndes or will it be Scape, or will we see the likes of Russell Ingall charge through? We are underway, and it's green. A great start by Tanner. A drag race between the Holden Racing teammates down into turn 1 for the first time. Scape's got the inside running.
Radicic, good start.
Yeah, terrific start by Radicic. They sweep through the fast left-hander, turn 1, and it looks as though at this stage they're all through there fairly cleanly. And now down towards turn 2. Scape's got the upper hand. Look at Tanner on the outside having a run. Lowndes is up there as well. Big field, and luckily no incident so far, which is a surprise. Tanner sits there in 3rd place behind the defending series champion Craig Lowndes, who covers his line down into turn 4, but your leader is Mark Scape, so it's Scape from Lowndes. We go back to 3rd and it's Tanner. Ingall's up there, so too Radicic. Radicic in between, in fact.
Yeah, Russell Ingall will be kicking himself there. He's ahead of Radicic on the grid. The car just bogged down a little bit. He finds himself in behind the shell forward.
Yeah, it looked like he was getting a lot of wheel spin, Mark. He was sitting out there smoking and going nowhere.
So the order at the moment, Scape using his pole position to advantage. Lowndes and Scape got away equally well, but Scape being on the inside, that's where you wanted to be for that swing through turn 1, so he took maximum advantage of that. Leads him down through turn 9. Lowndes in behind him. Garth Tander in 3rd position. Radicic in the first of the Fords in 4th. Then it's back to Ingall in the first of the FTR Falcons.
We saw Glenn Seaton getting his rear left off into the dirt there on the exit of turn 9. He's really trying, and the reason for that, he's under pressure from John Bowe, who sits just in behind him. Here is your race leader, Mark Scape, the pole sitter from teammate Craig Lowndes. Tanner in 3rd place, then it's Radicic. A great start. He's already moved up 1 position from his qualifying point, if you like. And is now in 4th place ahead of Ingall, Seaton, Bowe. Then it's Kelly. We've got problems there for Steve Reed. That's on the exit of turn 12, coming onto the front straight. They sweep again through turn 1. The Holden Racing team have assumed command.
I asked Stephen how he got the nerve trapped in his shoulder. He said lifting.
Look at this down the inside. Rodney Forbes having a go. Cameron McConville as well. 3 wide down into turn 2. Oh, goodness, that was going to end in tears, and luckily it hasn't. And Forbes is the man who's profited from all that. A bit of a touch.
Did well to hang on to that, didn't he?
Back at the front of the field. No change. Holden Racing team running 1 and 2, but it's car 2 ahead of car 1. Scape from Lowndes and Tander. Now, Tander is close here, but it's so difficult to pass at Eastern Creek. That's the thing. Lowndes plays again defensive, forcing Tander to do all the hard work onto the front straight for the final time. And this, I think, is how they'll finish. Scape will take out race 1, checkered flag at the ready. Lowndes will finish 2nd. A great result for the Holden Racing team, 1 and 2, and a good job also by Garth Tander getting home in 3rd place. Mark Scape is your pole sitter alongside teammate Craig Lowndes. That's how they finished in race 1. Tander and Radicic on row 2. Russell Ingall and Glenn Seaton on the 3rd row, and John Bowe and Tony Longhurst from grid 7 and 8.
Huge queue of cars. We're almost ready for blast-off. Can Craig Lowndes overcome that pole position of his teammate?
Green flag waved at the back of the grid. The revs rise from the awesome V8s as we get set for race 2 of round 4 of the Shell Championship Series. We're away. A great start by Lowndes. Radicic is through as well, and so too Tander. Scape has been swallowed up off the start, and Radicic is through. Radicic has grabbed the lead. Brilliant start. Lowndes settles into 2nd place. That is a blinding start in the Shell Helix Falcon. A Ford leads at Eastern Creek from a Holden in the hands of Lowndes, and then we go back into 3rd place. Wow, what a start here.
Well, we're going to have to...
Oh, look at this now. Tander.
Oh,
Tander's made his way up as well. So Radicic under siege, and Tander's barged his way through into 2nd, forcing both the Holden Racing team Commodores further back.
Romano.
Problems there for Romano. Now down into turn 4. Well, what a real change of scenery here. Look at this. Morris and Larry Perkins.
Perkins and...
Well, I don't think Larry Perkins is going to be getting a Christmas card from Paul Morris or vice versa this year. Larry will be one unhappy camper about that.
So one of the Shell Fords there might be Steve Johnson pumping out a bit of smoke. There might be a tyre rubbing, but his teammate, the Rat, is on the attack.
A Ford out in front. The 37-year-old now resides, of course, on the Gold Coast. Former driver with the Ford factory team in the Super Touring Championship, twice a winner of the World Cup. That's your Munro profile on Paul Radicic, race leader here in race 2.
That's the view from the Goodyear blimp looking down on Eastern Creek Raceway. Look at how hot and frustrated these Commodores are getting behind him. But Radicic equal to the task. So this has been a real turnaround in V8 Supercar in 2000. The Fords have been copping an absolute mauling in the opening rounds. Only taken 1 heat win. That was Craig Baird back at Phillip Island in the opening championship round. Since then, it's been an absolute drought.
But this here is a Ford fight back this afternoon in race 2. Look at Glenn Seaton making a move on Russell Ingall as well as we come down the main straight. Can Seaton pull it off? He's not close enough, so he won't do it. He tucks back in behind the enforcer. Glenn Seaton, who's enjoyed so much success around Eastern Creek in the past, particularly in the days of the Winfield Triple Challenge, sits at the moment in 6th place. There he is.
Brilliant. Tander at the inside, but watch Radicic. This is Tander runs a bit wide. Radicic keeps it up on the inside, but you see Tander still on the proper side of the circuit to change direction. Now you see that's where he went in, run wide, and it was brilliant driving from Radicic. Well, both Tander and Radicic, it was great stuff.
Oh, look, Lowndes now. Look at inside.
Yes.
5 remaining in this one now. Lowndes has gotten through. Tander's gone.
Oh, boy.
Now, how will that affect our championship leader? He gets back on, but he's well down behind Greg Murphy. I think he's rejoined in about 14th position, so that has cost him. In fact, there's Brad Jones now.
Tyre, front left is flat. Oh, what a shame.
Well, this is what happens when you're chasing a championship. He's been Mr. Consistency so far, but it takes one little collision like that, and all of a sudden your race plan goes out the window. Garth Tander in serious trouble now. Flat tyre, he's got to limp it round to the pits. At the time, well, he's in the pits, he's going to start virtually from the back of the grid.
Now Lowndes having a look here, Mark, on the outside, down into turn 9.
Oh, no, Skate on the inside.
Skate's gotten through. So his teammate left the door open, and Skate pounced. So our race 1 winner has moved up to 2nd place. Things keep changing all the time here.
Look at that. Oh, well, it's...
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
Well, it is. You know, it's unusually aggressive for Lowndes. To see right from the very beginning of it, that's what we need to do to sort of make any comment. But,
so the Valvoline Cummins car, 4 laps remaining for Paul Radicic, a fight for survival.
Now only a couple of corners left to go, Baz.
Well, it's just, I can't see any way. Oh! I can't see any way Scape is going to do it, because there's no... If he keeps it nice and tight in on the double left-hander onto the start and finish, horsepower-wise, the Ford's equally as good as the Holden you saw, top speed-wise, so... any kind of luck, it's going to be the #1 for the Rat, his first ever win.
The Ford fans in the grandstand are already on their feet, because this is going to be Paul Radicic's first victory in the Shell Championship Series. He takes out race 2 of round 4 of the Shell Championship Series at the Creek. Well done to the Kiwi. There's his wife and all the team. They are delighted with that. Skate home 2nd, Craig Lowndes 3rd, Russell Ingall the enforcer 4th, and Glenn Seaton 5th. A bumper crowd here, 22,650 fans. That is a new record for a V8 supercar round here at Eastern Creek. The Rat and Mark Scape on row 1, Lowndes and Ingall row 2, Glenn Seaton and John Bow on row 3, then it's Craig Baird and Tony Longhurst on row 4. Russell Ingall on the 2nd row of the grid. What can he do? Revs rise in the V8s. A win to Ford and a win to Holden. Who will do it in race 3 here today? Radicic sits on pole alongside Scape.
Oh, Radicic, great start.
Look at Ingall. Ingall. Lowndes. There's been contact between those two, but Ingall's gotten through there. Lowndes, I think, will have the better run into turn 1, and Radicic has already cleared out of there. Look at these two side by side, the Castrol Commodore and the Mobile Commodore. Lowndes will have the run. There's been a spinner. Mark Warner's involved there. That's a big one.
Major one.
Now it looks like Thomas Mazira's involved in that as well. We'll get a closer shot. That is Jason Barkwana, Stephen Ellery.
Well, Ellery copped a fine after that contact with Steve Reed earlier on, so he hasn't had a good day. This is the lead, but we may have a red flag situation if they don't get those wrecks cleared away. Paul Radicic, though, making a brilliant start in Heat 3. And Russell Ingall absolutely fired out of the 2nd row to get into 3rd position. Skate right over the edge of the asphalt. Drops the wheels onto the dirt. He wants to get past this Shell Ford as fast as possible. So Craig Lowndes right up behind the Shell Falcon. Mark Skate, see earlier on, just dropping a wheel off the asphalt. Lowndes doing it too. Here's the points after 2 heats of round 4. Skate leading at the moment, Radicic behind. But if Radicic wins this one and Skate comes 2nd, Radicic will win the day on countback. So an important day for Ford. Can Radicic stand on the top level of the podium this afternoon? Craig Lowndes is going to make sure he does it.
I'm just looking at the starter. It looks like there's something going on, a bit of talking on the starless
Look at
whistle.
this. Look at this. Yep, Craig Lowndes having a look. Radicic shuts the door as they come down the front straight. The crowd are on their feet. A fourth leads from a Holden. Radicic from Lowndes. Then it's Russell Ingall in third place. And Mark Scape in fourth as they sweep through turn one for the second time. Look at the mess.
Yeah, look, that really upsets balance of Radicic's car there.
260 kilometres an hour on the approach to turn one. Then they get hard on the brakes down through turn two. Radicic defending strongly from Lowndes. Gets really sideways under power coming out of turn two.
The Ford gets the power to the ground nicely.
Yeah, it does. Just you can see there, you see all the black smoke coming out of it. They've got to run it about as rich as she'll go as they can. Oh yes!
Oh, there's been contact! Radicic is gone.
Wow.
Radicic is gone.
I tell you, this is a very un-Lowndes-like day to me. It's that says it all.
Well, under the driver etiquette rules, you've got to be alongside the B pillar, but there's a challenge now. Russell Ingall takes advantage of that. Coming together to shoot through to the lead. Here from the pits, they're telling Paul to try and keep going, but I think he might have backed it
Now,
into the sand trap.
Scape's coming for a run here too, Mark, and so Seaton down into turn two. Look at Lowndes trying to fight back past Ingall.
Well, there's Paul Radicic getting back into the action, but the officials are going to look very closely at
there's no doubt about that.
How far Craig Lowndes was under Paul Radicic. Let's have a look at this.
Get a look.
He's got to be alongside the B pillar.
Right.
For this to be considered Lowndes' corner. Let's have a look. Oh, wow.
Well, the problem is, though, Mark, there's no, there was no way that Radicic couldn't turn into the corner. He was turning in. He was committed. And there's nothing really you can do about it.
Well, a very disappointed Dick Johnson. The highest of highs, the lowest of lows. The winning heat too, yeah, incredible. So Glenn Seaton, the highest place forward. Tony Longhurst, John Bower.
Oh, dear.
Not again.
Now, we need to have another look at that.
Wow.
I can't believe this.
Craig Lowndes has been involved in a few incidents today, hasn't he?
Wow, really, it's...
That's the third collision he's been involved in.
There's damage to the front right there, Mark, or front left, I should say, on Baird's car, so that'll put him out, I'd say. Russell Ingall leading the way, and teammate Larry Perkins, problems in the pits. They will get the last lap board this time around as they come down the 1 kilometre long main straight. Russell Ingall has seen it. He's on his way home. Can the enforcer do it and take his first win of the 2000 season and his first win since the Queensland 500 last year? There'll be a lot of fans who'll be hoping for that.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt. It's, unless he outbreaks himself somewhere, he's got it in the bag, isn't it? It's great driver. It's nice to see him get a good result because they've been struggling.
Well, if he does bring it home, that'll be 3 different winners from the 3 heats here this afternoon.
A good result also for Tony Longhurst, who currently sits in 4th place, and Glenn Seaton 3rd in the FTR Falcon. If they finish the way they currently stand, the enforcer brings it onto the straight for the final time. He flashes the lights to the crowd. The resurgent Russell Ingall will take victory in race 3 here at Eastern Creek. Well done in the Castrol Commodore, and well done to the Larry Perkins Racing outfit. They would be delighted with that. Perkins Racing, there's Oscar and the boys. They worked very hard all weekend, and a mixed bag of results when you consider that poor old Larry's down in the pits with problems. Scapey in 2nd place, Glenn Seaton in 3rd, Tony Longhurst 4th, and John Bowe rounds out your top 5.
And the good news continues for Scape as well, because the tide has turned. Garth Tander has been leading the series since the opener in Phillip Island. Now Scape leads by just 4 points over Tander. Paul Radicic sits in 3rd on 395 points despite that problem today. Magnificent weather conditions here at the top end, and although it's only the 3rd time the V8 Supercars circus has travelled here to Hidden Valley, once again the people of Darwin have absolutely embraced this event. There's a huge crowd making its way into the circuit. The circuit here at Hidden Valley is a beaut. 10 corners, and of course it's characterised by that drag strip, the 1 kilometre long main straight.
A hit out at Hidden Valley, folks. 35 V8 Supercars set to do battle in the first of 3 sprint races. Craig Lowndes and Mark Scape on the front row. John Bowe with a little bit of problems, which we'll talk more about shortly, in the Caterpillar Ford, alongside Glenn Seaton, Larkham Tander, Paul Radicic and Russell Ingall on row 4. Holden versus Ford here at Hidden Valley. A Holden front row, 2 Fords on row 2. 35 cars and 18 laps. We are away. Lowndes and Scape, the drag race for turn 1. Bowe gets a good start, which is quite a surprise. The field stream down towards turn 1. Mark Scaife has taken the lead from Lowndes. Look at this. The jostling for position between Ingle and Larkham and Bow. Bow has dropped right back.
Yeah, John Bowers very careful on this opening lap when they're fighting for position. If he is running on 7 cylinders, he's going to have an obvious power disadvantage. I'm not sure if the crew have been able to fix it. We'll have to watch his progress as the race continues.
Oh, that's Paul Morris there out in the dirt. Yeah, it doesn't look like JB's car is going too bad at the moment.
Well, hopefully they've been able to cure that misfire. That's a rotten time to drop onto 7 cylinders.
Oh, we've had a spin in the background there. One of the Kmart cars. That is Stephen Richards, who's gone around. That's on the lead up to the terrace hairpin where we are now. You can see Bow on the exit there. Little tentative. Russell Ingle looking for a move down the inside. Does he get it? Oh,
no. Yeah, it looks as if JB's car is still off on 1 cylinder because he's definitely holding Ingle up there.
And a big field sweep around through the S's down toward the corner onto the main straight for the first of 18 laps. And there's big problems.
Now, I wonder if that's the result of that moment Stephen Richards had. Oh, Radicic.
Well, that's rotten luck for the Kiwi. He's been involved.
Oh, Larry going backwards.
He's got it in reverse too, trying to get out of there. Now that's Garth Tander. Is that Garth Tander we saw a moment ago there?
Looked like it.
Been a big crash, big coming together on that opening lap. But
yeah, it must have been the first corner. Right, get a look here.
Just coming up into the valley.
Oh, look, somebody down the inside there. Oh, that's
Stephen Richards.
Stephen Richards, by the looks of it. And who's that? That's Barguana, isn't it? Oh, boy, everybody, look at this lot.
Well, the Kmart car was just flying across the grass.
Yeah, I don't know what went on there. It was just...
That's how Radicic got tangled up in there as well. Boy, that was a real coming together.
No, that's Barguana.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. And Larry smoking them.
He's just not having a good championship series, is he?
No, not at all.
But out the front, positions remain the same. Scaife and Lowndes. Seaton, Tander, Larkham, Ingle, Murphy, Longhurst, Wheel still in 9th, Faulkner in 10th, and Cameron McConville. Great performance, he's up to 11th.
Have we lost Paul Wheel? Can't see him.
Well, apparently we hear...
Oh, look at this lot. Oh, dear me.
There's damage to the front of Poole's car. You can see the
wheel there. Oh, my.
Cameron McConville taking evasive action. It looked as though it's Romano's car.
Romano, yeah, definitely.
Look at that.
That's Romano's spoiler. Dear me.
That's his spoiler.
He's got Romano's spoiler pegged in the front of the car. That shows. If you ever wanted
they'll have to laugh. I mean, it's...
If the officials ever wanted any
very
evidence,
dangerous. They need to stop that. That's really... Oh, right, okay. It's the sort of thing you don't really want to carry around with you.
Not really the best aerodynamic assistance, no. So Poole into the pits.
Oh, boy.
Well, what a race this first one has turned out to be here at Hidden Valley. Plenty of action. Take a closer look at just what happened there.
Get a load here, right. It looks like Paul Wills touched Romano up the backside, the looks of it, and then... That's quick detachable spoiler there.
Look at how close Lowndes is now. They will get the last lap board this time around as they come over the start-finish line at Hidden Valley. Still not close enough, though, to make a move. He tries pulling out of the slipstream, but there, a graphic shot of how far back he is.
Tell you what, Scaife car looks quicker than Lowndes is down the straight.
Tander looking for a different line to Seaton. Seaton plays defensive. Into turn 1, we are on our way home. Holden Racing leading the way. Scaife and Lowndes. You're riding now with Glenn Seaton, who sits in 3rd place, and looking back at Garth Tander in 4th. Larkham, a tremendous performance in 5th, and Russell Ingle, the enforcer, 6th. They work onto the front straight for the final time, and they will get the checkered flag in race 1, and it's taken out by Mark Scaife. Holden Racing 1-2, Lowndes in 2nd place. Look at that for 3rd.
Tander, maybe.
I think you'll find Seaton got there. Yeah. Holden's on the front row once again for the second of today's 3 sprint races. Very warm conditions here at the circuit. Scaife and Lowndes, Seaton and Tander, Larkham, Ingle, and Tony Longhurst and Greg Murphy on the 4th row. We are set to go racing in the second of the day, the second heat. Will it be Lowndes? Will it be Scaife? Or will we see a change up front? Away we go again. And it looks as though Lowndes has got a great run. Faulkner, like a bullet, has moved up through the field as well. Look at Tander. He's gotten past Seaton, so Tander in 3rd place now and hounding. Mark Scaife down into turn 1.
John Faulkner on the outside of the Team Asia Online car. Made a good start too. There he is. Just around the back of Russell Ingle's car. as this big field sort themselves out through turn 1, up toward the valley for the first time. Let's hope we don't have a repeat of the scene we saw in Heat 1.
Well, that's so far so good. It's first lap and oh, look at Stephen Ellery. Oh, it looked like it was all going to end in tears.
Brief bit of contact with Dougal McDougall and shades, what looked like for a moment there, shades of race 1, but everyone's gotten through there A-OK.
It's a great run for Stephen Ellery in the Super Cheap Autos team. Up in the top 10, he finished 9th in Heat 1. Let's hope he can keep it together. There's Tony Longhurst and the Caltex Haviland Ford. Good consistent run at Hidden Valley so far. Let's see if the Queensland veteran can move up a couple of places before this one's over. Look at that magnificent sight. Big crowd in here, Hidden Valley. Oh, trouble.
Stephen Richards again.
And
now that's
Mike Emery.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, back in the pack there. Plenty of elbowing going on. Everyone jostling for position.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. Oh! Whoa! Dear me, that's
trying to cut it a bit fine.
Well, just trying to get in, stay right in, nice and close, so to get a decent line. Now watch here on the right-hand side. Oh, that was major impact.
As he gets all over the back of the Mitre 10 Ford. This is the battle.
I think we've had a change up front here, Mark. It looks as though Tander mightn't have gotten around Lowndes.
Yeah.
He's done it, Garth Tander. So now the 23-year-old has moved around him. He did it up towards the terrace hairpin there. Brilliant move. We could just see it in the background of our shot. Got around Lowndes. So he's now in 2nd place and chasing the man who is just ahead of him in terms of the championship point score. So a real battle for the lead in terms of the series happening here now. The Craig Lowndes fans, he sits 25th on the road at the moment. Now let's have a look at this replay.
Oh yeah, boy, Lowndes, yeah. Oh dear me, well Lowndes should have really got out of the way and let Lowndes go, really.
It's Alan Heath there. Off to the left of the screen.
Oh, just kissed the tyre wall.
Here is your race leader, heading for home. Mark Scaife won the opening race of the day and added to his 4-point lead in the Shell Championship Series. He'll put more valuable points in the bag in this one. Garth Tander sits in 2nd in the Valvoline Cummins Commodore, and you can see there a huge gap back to Glenn Seaton, first of the 4 drivers, but he hasn't been able to stay in touch with these guys up front. Larkham, Longhurst, Faulkner, 4th, 5th and 6th on the road as we head towards the checkered flag. Lights ablaze for Mark Scaife. A flag-to-flag victory in race 1. He is going to do it again in race 2. The Victorian who took victory in race 1 at Eastern Creek, and of course the Adelaide 500. Well done. He takes that. Indeed, it was a good job. This is the starting grid for the decider. Scaife on pole. He only needs to finish in the top 5 to win the round. Tander lines up alongside him. Seaton and Larkham, Longhurst and Faulkner, and Greg Murphy and Craig Baird on row 4. These are the 2 title contenders on the front row. 16 points separate them in terms of what they've earned today and where they stand in the championship. Scaife on pole, Tander eager for points, and a pack of Fords in behind them. We get set for the 3rd race of the day. Who will get the jump? Will it be Scaife or Tander?
Tander.
Great start from the youngster, the 23-year-old from Western Australia. Lights him up, and he has taken the lead. Scaife under a lot of pressure from Larkham as they work down towards turn 1. Faulkner, a brilliant start up alongside. There's a bit of contact in there.
There's a barrier.
Yep, that's Longhurst. He's had contact with Ellery. Stephen Ellery.
Oh,
wow, Stephen Johnson's managed to get through there as well. Now that's cost Ellery, who had a brilliant performance in race 1. That's cost him dearly.
Paul Romano.
Yeah, dear me, again.
Paul Romano in a tangle there with one of the Optus Commodores. So Garth Tander gets the jump on the Holden Racing team. In the final heat here at Hidden Valley, can Tander bring it home for the Valvoline Cummins? Look at the gap he's got on the Mark Scaife machine as they come across the start-finish line for the first time. Paul Radisich.
Looks at smoke off the front right.
I think he's got a tyre pumping there.
Oh boy,
no, he's got it going.
Oh,
gee, this is going to be tight through here.
I hope the flags are being waved.
I'm sure the yellow flags are waving and drivers getting in a single file. Just hope no one's caught out there.
And that's Steve Reed, who is parked there very precariously in the Optus Commodore. Look at Morris taking evasive action. So too Bow, Anthony Tratt, all of them trying to get around him. Goodness me.
That's good.
This is Craig Baird having a go at Neil Crompton down the front straight, coming for the ride. Greg Murphy, and so too Craig Lowndes. Look at Lowndes looking left and right. Don't think there'll be any change of position here. Murphy defends from Lowndes.
Oh, I thought Baird was...
No, look at this. Lowndes goes around the outside of Greg Murphy. The 2 former teammates and not a bit of paint traded in the slightest.
Well, Mark Larkham will be hoping that Glenn Seaton doesn't get in front of John Faulkner, because at the moment, if Larkham finishes third and Seaton finishes fifth, Larkham will be third. He'll be on the podium, his first podium ever in the Shell Championship Series. That'll be a real turn-up for the Mitre 10 too.
Look at this, now Skate's closed the door here. So things getting tight at the top end of the order, with laps counting down, 4 to go. Tander under all sorts of pressure from Skate, looking for his third win of the day. Nothing in it at the moment as they exit turn 1.
Yeah, well, Skate was clearly 7/10 of a second faster on that previous lap. Tander, I'd say, is in tyre trouble.
Yeah,
here.
I was going to say, it looks like Scafie's tyres are in better nick than Tander's.
Garth is sliding all over the road. He's been catching some remarkable high-speed slides. He's really pushing this car as hard as he can go, but once those tyres are past their use-by date, it's very, very hard to hold out a car that's got tyres in better condition.
This is how they stand. Tander, Scaife, Larkham, Seaton, Faulkner in 5th place, Baird in 6th. Then it's Crompton, Murphy, Perkins and Russell Ingall rounds out the top 10. They will get the last lap board to go this time around. So Garth Tander headed for his first heat victory for season 2000. And Scaife, all he's got to do is stay exactly where he is and he will win the round.
Well, it's going to tighten things up too. If they finish the way they are, Tander will only be 12 points in arrears of Scaife in the championship points. So that really is, the season started off this way, a battle between Gary Rogers Motorsport and the almighty HRT. And now we're into round 5 and that battle's continuing.
The 23-year-old headed for the checkered flag and his first heat win of the season. Well done to Garth Tander. He flashes the lights at the Valvoline Cummins team. Well done. The youngster takes out...
Good work, boys. Well done. Fucking yeah.
Well, you can tell there he's a very happy camper. No doubt about it.
The Holden Racing team's first round victory here at the top end, and the Scaife steamroller continues. He's on top of the championship points, 596. As Mark said, 12 clear of Garth Tander, who sits in second place. Glenn Seaton, courtesy of his efforts here today, has moved up into third place. Paul Radicic had a dismal day, dropping to fourth.
The heart of Canberra, focal point for a unique event in world motorsport. There are other street circuits, yes, but none that run boldly past the front door of a nation's parliament. Yes, it's a beautiful circuit and there's so much to offer in terms of scenery and, of course, famous landmarks in the national capital. But it also, of course, is offering some problems for the design, and that is the configuration of the streets themselves and the curb and guttering around. It's 3.9 kilometres, and there are, as you can see, a few kinks where the drivers will be attempting to go as flat as they can, but there's some very, very hard braking and some very extreme manoeuvring required here in what is a fairly narrow circuit. But right now we have the business at hand. Here's the grid for race 1. Remembering it'll be reversed for race 2, but Tander and Seaton on the front row. Welcome once again to Greg Rust and Mark Osler with Barry Sheen, who'll be bringing the race to you this afternoon. A very interesting grid that. We've seen a few names there that haven't really been up the front in qualifying so far this season, gentlemen.
War is about to be waged on the streets of the nation's capital. An invasion of V8 supercars as we get set for the GMC 400. We are underway. A marvellous start by Seaton. He runs parallel with Tander up to turn 1 for the first time. No contact between any of them. And Tander settles into the lead, forcing Seaton wide.
Oh, it's a parking lot back
look
there.
At this. Look up the inside here. That's Cameron McLean there and Todd Kelly. Oh, dear me. That's so tight, first corner.
To the point where the second of the Optus Commodores came to a virtual standstill, Barry, at the very back of the pack. Looks like Thomas Mazira, from what we're being told from pit lane, may have sustained some damage to the Densitron Commodore. They file through the exit of Queen Victoria Terrace for the first time.
You look at the front of Todd Kelly's car, he'd be lucky there if he hasn't damaged the radiator. You see Ingle up the inside there.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, look, somebody's straight on there.
Craig Lowndes up the inside of the Mitre 10 Ford, making moves, trying to get track position on this critical opening lap. Keep in mind, once they complete this lap, the pit window will be open for that compulsory tyre stop. It's going to be very interesting to see what teams do here, whether they try and get this stop out of the way as soon as possible, or some will leave it late. Really could determine who wins this motor race. And keep in mind too, the pit crews are going to be under an enormous amount of pressure to get it right. This is the battle for the lead of the race and the championship. Just 12 points the difference between championship leader Mark Skaife and Garth Tander. Hasn't this guy come on strong? The 23-year-old from Western Australia.
What a rotten weekend it has been for the 29-year-old Kiwi.
Yep, it's been very disappointing. He was expecting to do much better than this on the streets of Canberra, considering that he's had to learn his way around all the tracks before. Let's have a look on the replay, Baz. There's John Bow.
Oh, no! Look at that. It's just a touch from
collision
the back.
between...
And wallow.
Wow.
Oh, dear me.
Murphy is your leader from Jason Bargwanna. Stephen Richards in the second of the Kmart Commodores. We have 2 Kmart Commodores in the top 3. That is fantastic. McLean up to 4th, our reigning privateers champion. Russell Ingall 5th. Paul Wheel in the K&J Radiators Falcon is up to 6th. Dougal McDougall in the Pepsi Commodore 7th. Mark Poole in the John Deere Commodore 8th. John Faulkner 9th. And Neil Crompton completes the top 10. They come over the start-finish line once again. Russell is so close to the back of Cameron McLean's car. Under pressure, McLean locks the inside left. Russell Ingall lights ablaze in the Castrol Commodore, all over the back of him. The Enforcer doing what he does best as we count down towards the finish of race 1 of the GMC 400 up through Queen Victoria Terrace, monstering the curves. Bargwanna 2nd, Richards 3rd, McLean 4th, and Russell Ingall all over the back of him. Russell looking for a move. He can't do it. McLean shuts the door down into the right-hander that brings you on to Kings Avenue, but Ingall is right there with him like a magnet.
This is a very impressive stuff. Look at Ingall trying to get the power down, 600 horsepower. The road falls off camber, throws the tail of the car into the concrete wall. Ingall is driving very, very hard, but McLean is proving a match for the South Australian. Out of Kings Avenue, up State Circle, round the front of Parliament House. Sun blaring in their eyes. Look at that blinding sun rays through the helmets, and they brake hard at the end of State Circle for turn 11, up past the Chinese embassy. 2nd gear, maybe 1st gear for some of them. Thundering down Flynn Drive, the order still. Greg Murphy, Jason Bargwanna, Stephen Richards. This is the battle for 4th position between Cameron McLean and Russell Ingall. Tremendous stuff. Now, tomorrow when we go a full reverse grid, the finishing order from this race will be reversed. Oh,
Tander,
wow.
that's Garth Tander.
He really whacked it hard, didn't he? Now, he has done a lot of damage to that car. He's hit that wall very hard.
Just slow it down and get it back to the pit till we have a good look at it, and we'll try and get you back out. Now slow it down and don't do any more damage.
Well, calming words of advice from the team. Just bring it back here. Let us have a look at it. Don't throw it into the wall again. So Garth Tander, after being just incredible how you can go from the top to the bottom so quickly.
He's done quite a bit of damage to the rear end.
The rear axle housing.
Yep.
The rear axle has broken away from its locating links. It's sliding laterally across the car. Let's have a look at the Shell Helix replay. Look how hard he hits this wall. Bang! And he has broken the locating links for that rear axle. It's floating around under the car. There's no way he can continue to drive that. He's got to limp it back to the pits.
3 laps to go. Mark.
Very, very expensive, costly mistake.
Certainly was. Look at this guy, Greg Murphy. The crowd here in Canberra at the completion of race 1. There's still another 2 to go tomorrow, are on their feet. The 27-year-old Kiwi will bring it home for Kmart Racing, and to the elation of Gary Dumbrell and their team, Greg Murphy takes out race 1 of the GMC 400.
Yeah, you can see the team there. Haven't they worked hard for that? This Gary Dumbrell, team owner.
The nation's capital looks magnificent, doesn't it? And the V8 Supercars are set to go into battle once again. 39-year-old Brad Jones from Albury has pole position for this reverse grid. Anthony Tratt will line up alongside him. Row 2 is Garth Tander and Rodney Forbes. Cameron McLean off row 3 alongside Stephen Ellery and Steve Johnson and Paul Morris on row 4.
Yeah, the reverse grid makes these grid reads look quite unusual, doesn't it? Todd Kelly and Tony Longhurst start out of 9 and 10. Mark Larkham, Larry Perkins, Paul Radisich, Mark Scape didn't quite get that pit strategy correct yesterday, HRT, so let's put him down the order on top of his teammate Lowndes. Glenn Seaton starts out of 16.
John Faulkner and Trevor Ashby line up on row 9. From position 19, it's Neil Crompton alongside Steve Reed. Mark Poole and Dougal McDougall, 21 and 22. Paul Wheel and Russell Ingall on row 12.
Getting back toward the guys who did very well yesterday. Stephen Richards, Jason Bargwanna. Our race winner, Greg Murphy, starts from 27. And the cars behind him were cars which did not finish the race yesterday. They automatically start from the back of the grid. Cameron McConville, Thomas Mazira, Mick Donoghue back there too. And that's the field.
The revs start to rise as we get set for race 2 of the GMC 400. 32 storming V8s on the grid. And we're away. Brad Jones.
Oh, look at Tander.
Look at, yeah, brilliant start by Tander as we head toward turn 1 for the first time. And Jones in the Aussie Mail Ford has it. Tander forces Anthony Tratt out wide. He's going to get hung out to dry there. Rodney Ford comes to come through as well.
Look at it.
And this is like a parking lot. Russell
Ingall over the shaft.
Wow. I wonder if the officials are going to be looking there.
I think he might get his leg slapped for that.
Well, the track was effectively blocked. It was like a car park down there. No one was able to move. They're all back in first gear. So this shows how tight that turn one is when you try and put them through at one hit. Anyway, they've got through relatively unscathed.
Look at this, look.
As they fire up Kings Avenue for the first time. There's the race analysis, the Ford Livet race analysis, 25 laps, 97.5 k's the distance, 31 starters on the grid now. And of course that pit window for the compulsory tyre stop between laps 2 and 17. And I reckon today, after seeing that winning strategy by Greg Murphy yesterday, a lot of these cars are going to be into the pit lane as soon as they can.
Quite right there, Mark. That'll be one we'll keep an eye on. Only 31 cars in this field. Courtesy of the fact that we've lost the Pertec entry of Craig Baird. Now, if you've just joined us, we've had a change of position here. Tander leading from our pole sitter, Brad Jones, who looks as though he's sporting a little bit of damage to the front spoiler of the Aussie Mail Ford. We'll keep a close eye on that as they work down the back of Flynn Drive for the first time through this chicane. No damage to the Aussie Mail Ford, but very sideways though. Brad Jones on the exit of that. Now up along Flynn Place. They work up through the gearbox of the Fords and hold it. Look at them line astern. This huge field of V8s thundering down.
Here they come up toward pit straight once again, and the cars are going to start filing in straight away. Tander's in. Brad Jones is in. Rodney Forbes. Cameron McLean. Stephen Ellery. Look at them all.
Yep. Larkham's coming in too by the looks of things. So too Larry Perkins. So this is a real parking lot situation here, and let's get an idea of just how quick these stops are going to be.
And it's just interesting too to watch the other cars have continued on their way. So probably half the field is still going, half have decided to pit. This is going to be fascinating as this race unfolds. Mark Poole in there too. K&J thermal car, a four-wheel. Brad Jones getting back out.
Tanner made a quick stop too, Mark.
Every second critical here. A reminder that cars can no longer pit under safety car. The pits are closed under a caution car period. Watch out, come off.
That's Rodney Forbes. Rodney Forbes wheels. Now that is a costly mistake there. And we also hear from the pits too that Brad Jones has actually gotten out ahead of Garth Tander. So we'll keep an eye on that one for you. This is John Bowes' Caterpillar Ford.
Yeah, I think JB hit the tyres over the back somewhere. Yeah, the back roundabout.
Meanwhile, back to the lead. Looks like Stephen Johnson probably. Yep, 17.
Oh, that's
Tander! Oh, dear me, Garth. Look at this. Wow.
Now that is on the turn that leads you up onto the front straight.
Front straight, yeah. It's so many bumps on the inside. Oh, broken steering arm. Listen, watch.
Oh, he's trying to run up the inside of Jones.
Oh!
Wow.
Look here.
Yeah, so he probably saw there was a sniff of an opportunity.
Yes,
I don't actually know that there was contact between the two of them. There's no mark on the front left of that Valvoline Cummins Commodore. It would seem to me that when he's gotten up on that curb on the inside with that front right, it's unsettled the car and possibly spun it.
Yeah, I think that what you find that once you realise there's not going to be any room, you sort of slow the thing up and, as you say, stuck it up on the curb and probably didn't need any contact.
We do apologise, folks. During the course of the ad break, things have been changing. We'll take a closer look at this replay again here as Stephen Richards tries to dive down the inside of Jones.
Well, yeah, really, that's it. It's a bit of a racing thing, you know. You've got to take your chance where you can get it. But
how about
the guy,
Stephen Johnson?
Stephen Johnson, well, he just, look at this. That's Mazera. Oh, just massive lock up there by the looks of it.
As we're going to say to you before, though, as so often happens in these races where there are pit stops, it does take time for the leaderboard to sort itself out. And just about everyone has done that now. We can tell you, after the completion of those tyre stops, Todd Kelly is the man who leads the field. Todd Kelly in the My Car Holden Young Lions entry is at the front of the pack. So well done. The 20-year-old youngster from Mildura leads this field from Neil Crompton in the Ford Tickford Racing entry. Look at this battle going on here between Crompton and Scaife a bit further back in the pack.
Yes, Scaife and Cameron McLean are really fine hammer and tongs. Scaife's been up the inside about 3 times and not made it, so I think you might see a bit of contact there.
This is the battle for 8th position, and it's got a queue of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars up behind Cameron McLean.
Yeah, I think you'll find that Cameron will be suffering a bit, you know, with that big, he'd have a big flat spot on his front left, and that's because he's definitely slowing Scaife up at the moment.
We jump back and look at this battle as Perkins, Seaton rather, and Radicic continue to battle down towards Flynn Place.
You'd have to say that would have totally knackered the front left-hand tyre on Cameron. Cameron McLean's car. So Larry's on the curb.
I said it's the world's fastest lawnmower. He's doing a bit of that at the moment. Look at that little queue behind him.
Yeah, he's in diabolical trouble with the front left now. He's definitely not getting out of the way, though.
Well, he doesn't have to get out of the way. He's racing for race position. He's got every right to fight for position just like anyone else in this field. So Cameron McLean really fighting tooth and nail to stay in the top 10. He's currently in 10th position. Behind him, he's got Seaton, Radicic, Ingle, Larkup, Lowndes, Bargwanna. Look at the quality behind him, and Greg Murphy, yesterday's race winner. He's back in 17th position after that altercation earlier in the race. There he is, Murphy. John Faulkner and the Team Asia online machine right behind.
Oh, we've had a big one. We've had a big one just outside our commentary box. Paul Morris has gone off by the looks of things. Straight on under brakes.
And Tony Longhurst in trouble too. Has he got a flat tyre?
Yes.
I just saw Paul Morris out of the side of my eye go flying off the end of the main straight.
That thing just launched. We'll endeavour to get some vision of that for you, folks. But he flew off.
There he is.
Oh, look at that! He's got it there. How quick has he gone into that?
That's right down the... Safety car is on standby in the pits we hear, but he's gone. Look at
that
this.
Is just lock her up on the back.
Look at
she's done a complete.
Look at this. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like the tyre problem. It fell to pieces or something. That's a heavy impact, I tell you.
We just have a window at the side of our commentary box, very close to this position, and I just saw this yellow-green flash just went past. He went up the escape road at an incredible pace. Todd Kelly, meanwhile, continues to lead this one. 4 seconds the gap now over Neil Crompton in second, who's battling hard with Stephen Johnson. Stephen Richards in fourth, Brad Jones in fifth. Mark Scaife still in sixth, Larry Perkins, Glenn Seaton, Paul Radicic and Craig Lowndes rounds out the top 10. So 3 Holden Racing Team Commodores in the top 10 at this stage.
So here he comes, the youngster from Mildura, up onto the start-finish line in the My Car, Holden Young Lions entry and grabs the checkered flag. Well done. That's a marvellous performance. We get set to go racing in the big one, a 50-lapper with 2 pit stops. Stephen Richards on pole alongside Neil Crompton, Greg Murphy and Jason Bargwanna on row 2, Seaton and Scape on row 3, Todd Kelly Dougal McDougall on row 4.
Just a reminder, if you've just joined us, those grid positions are determined by their results in the first 2 25-lap races. Craig Lowndes started at 10, Larry Perkins, Paul Wheel, Radicic, Johnson, Trevor Ashby and Mark Larkham in 16.
Position 17 is Brad Jones, 18 Tony Longhurst, 19 and 20 Garth Tander and Anthony Tratt. Row 11 Rodney Forbes and Russell Ingle, then it's Steve Reed and John Faulkner, who's a non-starter in this one, just withdrawn because of that crash in race 2.
Yes, amazing stories up and down that grid, isn't there? John Bowe back in 25th, Paul Morris had a big lose in race 2. Fortunately, he'll take the grid for the final. 50 laps, double points, so 120 Shell Championship points on offer for whoever wins this race. This is a very important race.
30 cars set to do battle. The conclusion, a stunning climax to the street race and the street fight that they call the GMC 400. Who will get the jump? Will it be Crompton or will it be Stephen Richards in the Kmart Commodore? Richards away very smartly. Crompton tucks into second. Look at Bargwanna. He's got the edge over Murphy as they run towards turn 1 for the first time. Stephen Richards.
You see Paul Morris down the outside there. God, he's... this is where it all gets a bit on the tricky side, isn't it? The first tight corner.
Very, very tight through turn 1, but fortunately this field have had a few attempts at it now. They know how it works. They know they've got a funnel through there and they've got a long way to go. So a nice clean start to the all-important third race here at the GMC 400. Double points on offer. And there's your Ford Limit race analysis. 30 starters making the grid. 50 laps, just under 200 kilometres in distance. They have to make compulsory stops for both fuel and tyres, and both of those have to be completed between laps 2 and lap 36.
It's early days in this third race, but look at this. McDougall caught up in the traffic jam. Yep, Radicic contact with McDougall.
Right in the middle of that.
So there's confirmation of what Barry Shoon was talking about before, I would think. Quickest Stephen Richards on the circuit at the moment. Bear in mind, though, that he doesn't have any traffic to contend with. Out in front and doing a good job at the moment, the 27-year-old. And a tremendous confidence boost as well for the Kmart Racing team. Those guys coming off the high of their victory at Bathurst last year. Haven't had a great year and now doing very, very well.
That's what I was talking about.
Look at the leaves.
Yeah, see all those leaves fall out of that intake.
Wheels are going on. Wheels are going on.
Yeah, when you hear Cam's making mistakes like that, it's no wonder the chairman of Avesco Cochrane wants to get rid of them, isn't it, really? I mean, it's silly, really.
Oh, look at the lock.
Oh, look at the knock on now!
That's Glenn Seaton.
Yeah, it's Glenn. And boy, was he ever close. That was very lucky there. He didn't...
That was a carbon copy of what happened to Paul Wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
At the same part of the track.
Yeah. The left front tyres in this thing are going to play a big part, because there were so many guys whose left front tyres were totally knackered at the end of that race, and 3 or 4 of them wore right through.
He's our race leader, Stephen Richards. We hear from pit lane that he's coming in very soon. Got to take advantage of that lead while he's got it.
Will it be this time around? He sweeps out underneath Commonwealth Avenue. Indeed, it looks like he's coming in this time, Mark. So, our leader in the Kmart Commodore ventures into pit lane. 27-year-old Stephen Richards.
Okay, he's about, I think he was about 27, 28 seconds up the road from Lowndes when he decided to pit. So this will be very interesting when he comes out of pit lane. Will the Holden Racing Team car overtake him? Because effectively the cars ahead of them on the road haven't made their compulsory stops yet. Got the stopwatch going down there in the bottom left of your screen. 14, 15 seconds. Critical stop this for the Kmart team. Good stop too. Allow for the back end to slow down, but Craig Lowndes has swept through to lead. There they are, turn 1. So Stephen Richards drops back, loses his lead, but he's on equal ground now in terms of the number of pit stops made with HRT. Let's have a look at the replay, Baz.
Oh, yeah, what's going on? It's Paul Wheel. He's straight over. Wallop! Oh, dear me.
And that's not good news for the K&J Thermal Falcon. That was a brand new spoiler on the front there. It had some damage from a previous race.
It's not
Lowndes has obviously gotten around Neil Crompton there on the exit of that turn, which leads him up onto the front straight. Possibly Lowndes has got a better run. And now Crompton falls back into the clutches of Mark Scaife.
Well, this is effectively the battle for the lead, because only Mark Poole is leading the race now. He's 27 seconds ahead of the Holden Racing Team duo, but he's still got a pit. So this is your effective race leaders, the Red Barons, back on the march. Nice move.
Yeah, very good move.
Crompton gave him racing room.
That's the good thing about all the guys this weekend. I think Crompton must be in a bit of bother somewhere. All the guys this weekend have, really been sensible about it. No one's been sort of giving anybody a hard time as far as sticking them into the wall or anything, because it's...
So Lowndes goes through into second on the track. Scaife goes through to third on the track. Only Mark Poole and the John Deere Commodore lies between Lowndes and the lead.
That's Bargwanna. Jason Bargwanna. Goodness me. Well, that is a real shame. They had obviously just fixed that throttle cable problem. Well, let's hope they had.
Yeah, maybe it's...
maybe it's stuck on, possibly. I don't quite know what's happened there, but that has sustained a lot of damage to the front right-hand side of the Valvoline Cummins Commodore, and that is just on the exit of that sweeping left-hander that takes you up to Queen Victoria Terrace.
Safety car. We've got safety car boards out here, full yellows.
So, Craig Lowndes will lead them over the start-finish line. This is the GMC 400 as we run towards the finish of race 3. The big one, the 50-lapper, around 200 Ks, and everybody has done their 2 stops.
This is 14th, 15th and 16th, but what a contest. He's given no corner, accepted none. He's having another go straight.
This is going to end in tears here, Barry. This is the run to turn 1. Now McLean, is he going to give way to Brad Jones? Goodness me.
Well, I have to say, the amount of times that Brad's whacked Cameron in the last 5 laps.
You know that old saying about knocking each other's lights out? This is the battle to stay inside the top 10. John Bowe in 9th. Tony Longhurst 10th. Paul Morris 11th.
Oh, look at Morris.
Oh, look at Morris trying to get on.
Oh, dear me.
Russell's probably called this.
It's got to end in tears. No, he's done it. Classic.
No one believed.
Oh, call him Houdini.
Well, we were saying you wouldn't get 2 cars abreast. That was 3 cars abreast on the streets of Canberra. That was unbelievable.
So lights on for Craig Lowndes as he heads for home in the big one, the 3rd race of the GMC 400, and much needed points for the defending Shell Series champion. It has not been his year at all so far. Problems in Darwin, got involved in all sorts of biffo at Eastern Creek. And when it counts here in the streets of the nation's capital, Craig Lowndes is going to take it out. The man who will win the round, though, Stephen Richards in the Kmart Commodore, but take nothing away from the Mobile Holden Racing team. A 1-2. Wonderful scenes as Jeff Gregg, Natalie Lowndes and all the team hang over pit wall as they await Craig Lowndes and Mark Schaefer. 1-2 for the Mobile Holden Racing team.
Great drive.
He's pretty good on the street, Stephen Richards. He knows how to lift for the big events. Great result all round for Kmart Racing because Greg Murphy, you might recall, took race 1. But here's the championship position. Seaton takes over from Tander in second, and Craig Lowndes has lifted up a couple of spots into fourth, menacing the drivers in front of him. So with all these double-point events, it's possible for anything to happen yet in this year's Shell Championship Series.